What up, y'all? Welcome back to the FitMenCook kitchen, and we have got an amazing meal prep recipe today for you, featuring a very special guest. This is not a bat, this is a yucca. We are gonna be making a delicious cassava or yucca pie. Now, pies are really popular throughout all of the Americas, throughout all of the world actually. If you go to Europe and the UK, you've got the shepherd's pie with the creamy potato. Actually, not the UK, this is Irish. Somewhere over there in Europe. And throughout some parts of the continent of Africa, they do have a lot of yucca recipes, and also in Latin America, particularly in Puerto Rico, and I know Costa Rica, they have a plantain pie. In Puerto Rico, they call it pastelón. So there are tons of meals out there that have this root vegetable and savory meat combination, but I'm gonna be making my own version of a yucca pie today for a few reasons. Number one, even though that yucca is pretty much identical nutritionally to a potato, it's got more calories and it's higher in carbs. Yucca also has a much lower glycemic index than potato, so it actually makes it a viable option for people who have diabetes and have to manage their blood sugar levels. Also, recent studies have shown that lower glycemic meals help out with weight management. How? Well, those meals are generally richer in fiber. You're also eating a lot more healthy fat and more protein. It helps you to feel satisfied and stop you from feeling hungry. So this meal prep is going to be centered around that. If you're ready to roll up your sleeves for my version of this yucca pie, then let's get started. First, we're gonna chop off the top and then cut this into about 3 equally sized pieces. Around the edges, you'll notice this pink circle. That's the part we're trying to peel off. Make a little slit and then peel off the skin. You're gonna take the yucca and add it to a pot. Now, to boil the yucca, you can either use water or chicken broth. I like chicken broth because it adds more flavor. Add in some garlic and then a bay leaf and boil these until they're soft, about 15-20 minutes. Now, in my other recipes, I was using sweeter ingredients, things like barbecue sauce for the shepherd's pie with the savory mix, peas and carrots, which are also pretty high in sugar. This recipe is focused on lower glycemic food. So instead of using peas and carrots, we're gonna be using some red bell pepper and some asparagus. And we're also gonna toss in white onion just for more flavor. Now for the protein in here, you can use whatever you would like for your diet. I'm gonna be using a combination of some lean ground bison and some lean lamb. Just gonna lightly mix this together. We're gonna fire up a nonstick skillet. I'm gonna put it on medium-high heat. Just gonna lightly spray it with a little bit of avocado oil. Chop up the meat as it cooks, and then when it's almost finished, we're gonna drain out some of the excess fat. Then we're gonna sprinkle in cumin, some oregano, and some chipotle. Chop it up. I like my stuff a little bit saucy, so I'm gonna sprinkle in some arrowroot and then add in some of the remaining chicken broth that I have left over, followed by my favorite salsa or some enchilada sauce. Stir it up. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Kev, what about the veggies? I like to add it in the veggies last. Why? Because I still want them crisp tender. We're gonna have to bake this. Plus, you're gonna have to reheat this meal several times for meal prep. So I don't want the veggies to lose their color or their crisp tenderness.
Oh my God, y'all. Ooh, oh. Salsa makes a difference, but it's so needed.
Drain out all the excess chicken broth from the yucca, and then you're left with really, really soft yucca and garlic. I'm gonna add in lots of black pepper because I love it, some fresh thyme, and then a little bit of melted butter. And then I'm gonna use an immersion blender. Usually I don't recommend using an immersion blender for root vegetables, but yucca is really thick. It's almost got a brownie-like texture, even when it's fried. And after I do that, all I'll do is just mash it up either with a fork or with a potato masher, and then everything is great. This will be one of the creamiest mashes that you'll ever have in your life. Casey, have you had whipped yucca before? I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the taste and texture.
They look creamy. It's a little bit better than powdered mashed potatoes. A little bit.
You can either do this in a baking dish, but I like to use these little jars because they're great for portion control and for meal prep. Now, I'm just gonna pop this off. This jar is about 16 ounces, maybe a little bit below that. Take off the metal ring and it's oven safe and ready to go. Gonna add our meat and veggie mix to the bottom. I get it in about almost 75% of the way, leaving enough room for the yucca on top. And then just gonna take a fork, make some indentures right here at the very top, give it some texture. Now we're gonna bake these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at 400. And once they're finished, let them cool down a bit and then add the rings back to them. They are ready to go. The hard job, but someone has to do it. Jesse, you wanna help me? Look at that.
I've been training my whole life for this job.
Oh man, look at that. Bite cam. That's beautiful.
All right. Oh,
Actually, you know what? If you don't want to taste, you don't have to taste if you don't. Okay, you can have one bite.
man, sharing's caring.
Oh, I'm so proud of this. Oh, man.
Look at that bite, people. He knows what he's doing, y'all. He knows what he's doing. So good, dude. Oh, so good.
Yeah, you didn't know it was so buttery like that. That's it for today's video. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I want you to go run out and grab the ingredients to make this. It's such an easy thing to cook up and it's really darn delicious. I think that you may be ruined on potatoes for the rest of your life whenever you make this creamy yucca mash. If you like videos like this, I invite you to smash that like button below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And remember, you have to ring that bell so that way you can be notified whenever we post hot new content here in the FitMenCook kitchen, and also for our podcast At the Table, where we discuss the most relevant topics today around good food with amazing people. And if you find yourself a little bit too busy for meal prep these days, I totally get it. I'm in one of those ruts myself where the time is actually a luxury. Sign up for my meals. Go to meals.fitmencook.com and I have nationwide meal delivery. I'll help you stay on track as you crush your goals out of the kitchen as well. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep it healthful, but of course, what? That's right. Never, ever boring. Boom. Bye, peeps.